Artificial intelligence is reshaping the landscape of customer experience and employee experience. This is because organizations are no longer just using AI to charge their self service capabilities, but are integrating it seamlessly into customer interactions and agent workflows. The resulting transformation offers enterprises significant opportunities to elevate customer satisfaction and employee engagement, ultimately delivering better business outcomes that can move the needle. Hello, everyone. Welcome to the Analytics Insight podcast, where we talk about the ever evolving tech space. And I'm your host, Priya Diyalani. Now, analyst Paul Mearsman defines total experience as a way of doing business that connects how employees feel, that is, employee experience, how customers feel, that is, customer experience, and how users feel when using the products and services, and that is user experience, and how all these experiences come together, that is multi experience. Now, joining us today is Anand V, CIO or Asia Pacific of Randstad, to highlight that delivering a seamless and delightful experience across all touch points is crucial. And to achieve this, businesses must adopt a holistic approach, integrating technology, processes, and human interaction. Hi, Anand, how are you doing?
I'm good, Priya. Thanks for your invite to join this conversation with you.
Great. It's a pleasure to have you on our podcast today. And I think, we are going to touch down on some aspects that usually organizations ignore while just focusing on customer experience. And to get started, let's talk about Randstad India. So if you could help us understand more about the company, its specialization, it would be great.
Sure, thanks. So, Randstad is a global talent leader with the vision to be the world's most equitable and specialized talent company. And we, as a partner for talent, and we have four specializations: the operational, professional, digital, and enterprise talent solutions. And using these four specializations, we actually provide our clients, the business clients, with high quality and diverse workforces that they need to succeed in their business strategy in a very talent scarce world. And while we do that, we also help people to secure meaningful jobs and for their relevant skills. And they also find purpose and belonging in their workspace. And we are headquartered in Netherlands. Randstad operates in 39 markets and we have approximately 40,000 employees. In 2024 alone, we supported more than 1.7 million talents to find their passionate jobs, and we generated a revenue of around 24.1 billion.
Great, Anand. Thank you for that overview and helping us understand more about the company. I'm really glad to understand that the organization is not just what an organization does, but a deeper problem it's solving and the unique approach it brings to the market. Moving ahead, Anand, we would also like to know more about you. You have some great and diversified experience and expertise in key leadership roles. So we would like to know more about you. How has your journey been till date, and what exactly is your role at the company today?
Sure. So, as part of my role, I am sitting in Randstad India, and in Randstad has been in India for more than 30 years, and we have been delivering innovative and specialized talent solution across various sectors within India. And also, we have a global capability center in India, which plays a key role in driving our strategic delivery, right, for our global markets and businesses. As the CIO for India and APAC, me and my team, we build and run scalable technology ecosystem that actually accelerates how we match the world-class talent with the requirements of our business clients, leveraging best-in-class technologies. Of course, it includes AI, right? It's all about creating frictionless experience, right? That's what me and my team focus for most of our time. But equally important is the trust architecture that we need to build underneath it. So we ensure that, as we scale, we are protecting the client and the talent data while respecting the local data sovereignty, because across the countries, these laws vary, right? So we need to ensure that none of our solutions violate any of the laws across the region. And while we have the need to move fast, me and my team, we ensure we provide rock solid security while respecting data privacy and sovereignty in every market that we are working in APAC.
Thank you. And I think what stands out from your role is just how multifaceted leadership roles have become today. And it's no longer about overseeing operations, but more about shaping vision, culture, innovation, and long-term strategy. Now, building on that, we spoke about customer experience and employee experience. And, today, every product is a digital product, and every company is selling a digital experience. Regardless of industry, all businesses are now competing with the digital experiences that have kind of refined customer expectation. And the competition is steep. Experiences should be very intuitive, serving up what users want before they have even asked for it, etc.
Mhm.
And generative AI promises to elevate these expectations, give companies the tools to meet them. In fact, global executives say that generative AI is the top trend. They expect to disrupt the way organizations design experiences going forward. And across industries, repetitive tasks consume a significant portion of employees' time, with studies showing that 90% of workers feel burdened by routine processes. Again, here we have AI that is automating workflows, eliminating inefficiencies, and empowering employees to focus on strategic, high impact work that fuels business growth. So, enterprises today are talking so much about customer experience, employee experience, and TX also as separate initiatives. Why is AI now forcing organizations to think about customer, talent, and employee experience more like a connected ecosystem?
Excellent question, Priya. Actually, when you started the question, you mentioned, every digital tool comes with its own experience built into it, right? Now, earlier, before the age of AI, I would say, experience was actually defined by the tool and it was also set by the departmental silos, right? So if a tool was bought by marketing, if a tool was bought by HR, if the tool was bought by IT, all these three tools had three different experiences. And then what happened was employees were getting, definitely confused. They had to go through multiple workflows, multiple hoops, multiple tabs to jump through and figure out like what they are supposed to do. I always love to say that, an employee comes to work to generate business, not to work in IT tools, right, or technology tools for that matter. So, the most important thing I've learned through my career, Priya, is like unless you give the best world class experience to your employees from a technology perspective, they can't imagine the best experience that they can actually provide to our business clients and talents, right? And that's exactly what we do in Randstad. And for that, absolutely, we leverage AI. There's a lot of things that were earlier not possible are now possible, right? So earlier, you cannot actually stitch the experience through multiple tools on a single screen so easily, right? But now you can actually do it outside the tool. You don't need to touch those tools, which used to be a very costly process, right? So what we have done, we have created some of the best experiences, AI technologies for our employees when they do their work internally, right? Whether it is, in that way, like you said, many of the repetitive tasks, which were like not extremely very productive of usage of their time have all been either, I would say, eliminated or automated, right? So here we don't just apply AI on top of something existing, right? Like we are thinking through what is the right way to employ AI to drive the experience, right? So once we have taken care of the employees, now they come back and say, hey, Anand, I think we can apply technology like this to make our talents' life better, our customers' life better, right? And more, we are helping our employees internally to have a better experience with respect to technology, right? Whether it is simple, tickets that get solved automatically, which are raised by our customers or talents, or simply parsing the resumes in a very easy manner. Now, what happens, Priya, is the our colleagues have more mental space, right, to think and come up with more innovative solutions, and be the real human touch point for both our business clients and our talents.
Definitely, Anand, and I think that's a very powerful perspective and experience. I think no longer live in silos because I think if AI is sitting at the center of operations, decision making, and even engagement, then the quality of customer experience is directly influenced by the tools employees use and by the systems talent teams put in place. So you simply can't deliver customer experience if your employee experience is fragmented or your a tech stack is disconnected. And
Exactly.
because ultimately I think empowered employees build much better products, better service teams deliver better customer journeys, and
Yes.
I think smarter technology kinds of binds it all together. So that's where I think the real competitive advantage lies in today's era where everything is ruled by AI.
To add one more point here, Priya, is, and you don't need to solve everything with AI, right? With little bit proactive understanding of the journey of our customers or talents, right? You will be able to provide them with a better experience. A simple example that I can give is, earlier, if our employees who have left us, if they want to come, if they want to get access to some of their pay slips or form 16s or things like that, which if they have lost it, earlier they used to raise a ticket and our teams used to regenerate and give it to them, right? So now we have just given that option in our mobile app as an interface to our ex-employees, right? So now they can log in and they can generate any document that they want at any point in time without the need of a ticket, right? We are seeing a huge improvement, positive reviews from our ex-employees, right, about this user experience, and it has actually reduced the cognitive load on the support teams, actually.
Yeah, definitely a very good point to be shared, Anand. And of course, when we talk about customer experience, I think AI in customer experience has often been, wielded on self-service solutions. We have chatbots and virtual assistants handling common inquiries to free up human agents for those that are more nuanced. However, modern enterprises now need to leverage AI to orchestrate more of the complex and dynamic interactions. So rather than deflecting human interaction, AI facilitates a seamless transition between the digital and human touch points, ensuring that the customers receive the right level of support at the right time. So, in all this chaos, what role does real-time data and predictive analytics play in creating more proactive and context-aware customer journeys?
Yeah, fantastic question. And in recruitment, actually, especially where we do a lot of temp staffing, right? So we provide large scale workforce who work in many blue collar projects, right? Like construction or infrastructure, setting up of a data center or running a logistics operations and things like that, right? So now with AI, it's now very easy for us, to actually move from headhunting to demand sensing, I would say, right? Because the recruitment is now becoming more event driven, right? And event driven, when I say, like, it can be a sudden surge in a specific local area. It can be like suddenly few employees unable to report to duty due to some emergencies, or projects we know that are going to end, right? Now, in blue collar, what happens is, like, the goal is to ensure that our employees are continuously employed, when we have projects in hand. So now what AI facilitates in real time is we know that a specific project is ending, right? And we know that it's ending on this particular date, and we have a similar project available with another customer in the same location. Earlier, it was pretty difficult. There were dashboards which people need to see, and then they have to manually, write a mail or call, or the automation was very clunky. Now with AI, we can orchestrate this entire flow in a very nice way, right? So it can just send a message to the talent who is working on a project that's going to end in a very, because we know that talent, we know what they are doing, so we can actually like write a very nice personalized message saying that, hey, you've been doing a fascinating job, a great job in this particular project. We know that this project is ending. We have a similar project which is like 2 kilometers away from this location. Would you be interested? Right. So the entire journey now becomes, run through real-time data. Now, with either the users, the talent saying yes or no, we are able to identify, okay, how much more talent we have readily available, how much more I need to recruit. So the entire thing becomes super real time, right? Same way, like, we have, of course, databases, and if sudden surge happens, right, there is an local event that was got arranged suddenly in a specific area, we'll be able to manage, through AI again in reaching out to talents who are in our database and finding out, like, how many of them will be interested in taking up a job quickly and how many of them can join quickly, right? So the entire thing becomes, touchless, I would say, right? In the same way, like when, an employee unable to report to duty, right? The AI can actually, all they need to do is like they can put a voice message, and the AI can actually find out the replacement, call the replacement, and figure out, like, how fast they can reach their job place, what is the easiest way to commute. All those things can be now done, right? It's super proactive and all real time. And this entire thing, you can do it by abstracting over the enterprise layer, right? You don't need to touch and change the enterprise layers to do all these things. That's the beauty that, AI is bringing in. Earlier, if you need to do all these things, you need to go through multiple systems, and you don't know the data quality across the systems, right? So now the entire thing, is so easy. The AI is able to stitch through the data. It's able to spot patterns, and it's able to give enough alerts to a recruiter, right, before things happen. So you can see how easy it has become, right? Of course, there's a lot of hard work involved in the background to make this entire orchestration work. But from an experience perspective, you can see that it's becoming seamless and easy for both our business customers and talents.
Definitely, Anand. And when we talk about real-time data, I think it's shifting customer experience from being reactive to truly anticipatory. So it's not, just about responding to what a customer has done. It's about understanding what they're likely to need next, sometimes even before they realize it themselves.
Exactly.
Again, here predictive analytics adds another layer of intelligence here by analyzing the patterns, past purchase history, contextual triggers. So, everything is moving to a hyper personalized interaction. And, that's where I think journeys become more context aware, not just automated, but more intelligent. And I think once companies can, unify these real-time data pipelines with predictive models, I think they are redefining what customer loyalty will look like in a digital first world.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
And you can see how it is already making changes in our industry from what I explained.
Right. Right. And particularly in your industry, I think, AI tools have transformed how people work also today. Tasks that once demanded hours of manual efforts now take only minutes. And AI has streamlined a lot of workflows and removed the repetitive and hard work that used to weigh teams down.
Right.
But there's still one important question. If AI can eliminate so much of the hard work, does it also reduce burnout? Or are we simply replacing one kind of workload with another that is less physical but equally mentally draining. So, understanding that balance is essential to knowing whether AI truly supports well being or is it simply shifting that particular source of stress. So, can AI generally reduce the cognitive overload for employees, or does it risk creating more complexity through new tools and dashboards?
Excellent, question. It's definitely, based on our experience for last 2 years of driving good amount of AI programs internally. We definitely see that it helps in bringing down the cognitive overload and reducing the complexity. I'll give a simple example, right? Earlier in an IT project, one of the biggest activity when somebody starts putting a very simple project plan for a project is they'll say like we need to collect requirements, right? And that used to be a huge task. There used to be business analysts like who will meet several stakeholders, and different people will give different inputs, and they will collect and they will write a huge, several pages of documentation. Sometimes this documentation can be interpreted, whatever is written can be interpreted in many different ways. But now, in this current world, what we have done internally is we have kind of eliminated requirement documents. You may ask, oh, how does the development happen, right? So we have trained almost all our employees to create their own clickable prototypes, right? So let's say a specific department has a requirement. They no more sit and write a document, right? So they get together along with technology team, the security team, the risk team, and who are all used to be the stakeholders. They are now able to sit together and generate the entire project, or the solution to say, and it's completely a clickable solution which almost mimics the real life solution, right? Now that is much easy to translate and develop through a final solution that can be deployed on a cloud and scaled over, rather than reading a document and people making assumptions and people making mistakes. Now, just imagine the entire, like the life cycle, right? Like now, the requirements are now available to you in the form of a prototype. Like earlier, if you have to have prototype, you need to have tools, licensed tools in which you need to create the clickable prototype. Now, you don't know anything, right? You can do it now so fast, so easy, and you can create this entire prototype by talking to the AI. People give different requirements. People say, change this, change that. Everything is done. And probably in a few hours, or worst case, in a day or two, the entire requirement is now ready and given to the technology team who can take it, again, leverage AI, right? And put the entire thing. Another use case that we are seeing where AI plays a key role, Priya, is understanding the legacy code, right? All the companies have tons and tons of legacy code, or an app which is running for, let's say, for last 5 years. Different developers have come in at different points in time. They have written code in different styles. Of course, biggest problem is nobody writes documentation, right? So the entire thing, for a new person to come in and take over an application earlier was a major task, right? Now again, AI can make your life simple by understanding the code, giving you the explanation like why or what that code is trying to do, and like it can actually give you a lot of ideas to make the code, the refactoring the code. So there are so many such examples I can keep giving you here. And in many of those things, one of the key things that we are also providing, maybe we can I discuss it later also in detail, is called explainable AI, right? So once the AI does select something, or let's say in the code review kind of thing, it explains, why it did what it did, right? So in that way, like, it is a good way to build confidence into the developers or the business folks, right? Before they move into decision making. Like earlier, recruiters used to go through hundreds of CVs and used to finalize. Now you give the CVs to your agent. The agent goes through it, and within few seconds, it explains to you in detail, ranking the candidates. And it also explains why it ranked a candidate in a specific way, what is the advantages, disadvantages, how they are actually mapping to the job description. So we are seeing tremendous amount of reduction in complexity, and of course employees also are relieved of repetitive tasks, and now they are able to do much more value added tasks than what they were able to do earlier.
That's a really powerful perspective, Anand, and especially distinction between automation and augmentation. I think AI isn't inherently a reducer or a creator of complexity. It depends entirely on how intentionally it's implemented. And when it's layered on top of already fragmented systems, it can absolutely add to the noise. But when it's thoughtfully integrated into workflows, it can quietly remove friction, filtering information and prioritizing what truly matters, and helping employees focus on higher value thinking rather than task switching all day. And I think AI success in reducing cognitive workload overload isn't a technology challenge alone. It's more about a leadership and experience design challenge, I believe.
Yes, that's why, earlier when AI came in, it was a lot more spoken about human plus AI, right? But in the examples that I gave you, it is the other way around, right? It's the AI plus human. So you are actually like taking AI and you are putting it into a domain, right, which was human, and then you and the AI are able to actually work together as partners, right? And you are able to deliver high value work at the end of the day. So I call it as AI plus human rather than human plus AI.
Yeah, definitely. And however, I feel implementing AI successfully requires more than simply adopting the latest tools or technologies. Because without a well defined strategy, AI initiatives often fail to deliver expected outcomes, leading to wasted resources, frustrated teams, and missed business opportunities. Now, one of the main reasons AI projects fail is a lack of proper guidance. Many companies attempt to implement AI without consulting experts, and eventually resulting in fragmented systems and inconsistent results. So, what common mistakes do organizations make when deploying AI for experience transformation?
Absolutely. So I think the first and foremost thing we need to do is like like you said, it's not just implementing a tool, right, for the sake of implementing a tool. As an organization, we need to figure out like what is the need for AI in that organization, right? Why is it like just you want to make your employees more productive, or what is that you want to actually deliver to them, to not just the employees but the entire organization, right? So that's what is the most crucial thing that is needed first, right? Rather than going by the hype, right, we need to prioritize value, right, before the hype. So first thing where that needs to be done, Priya, is launching these initiatives along with a very specific business problem, right, that needs to be solved. And second reason why AI also fair, once if you don't do this, and second area where the failure starts is the data readiness, right? It's a big pitfall, right? If your data is of poor quality, right, it is very siloed or it's very biased, right, then whatever AI you apply is going to actually, respond back at the speed of light, I would say. I know earlier it used to be called garbage in, garbage out. I say garbage in and speed of light, garbage out, right? AI cannot compensate for poor data quality. That is another reason for failing, right? And applying, like a few months ago, like there was this major speech, major talk about 95% of AI projects are failing, and about the MIT study that came in. Basically, if you read through that study, actually what it says is AI, when applied to the right problem, is successful almost all the time, right? So that's the first criteria that we discussed. And second, the data. So both these points get actually pointed out in that study very much. Then you have been also asking me, the previous question was about the human element, right? So if you don't do the whatever is the necessary to bring up the employees up to speed, right? Again, it's all going to fail. And if people start treating AI as another project, right, and they just use it whenever they want, it's also going to not help in overall driving the AI adoption, right? So the most important thing to summarize in all these things is you need to identify the right problems, right? And to solve. Another important thing is you can't just like that apply AI everywhere, right? There are issues of data privacy, and things like that. So also security, right? You can't put everything into AI. So another important thing that Randstad did, even before we did a huge implementation, was building the entire governance guardrail, right? The infrastructure needed to support this governance. And we also identified, the use cases that across, if you remember, I mentioned Randstad operates in 39 different countries. So different countries may have different regulation, different apps to manage these regulations, right? So how do you solve this multi-regulatory environment, multi-country environment? So we identified the common set of use cases and how AI can be applied to solve them. And then, we have identified partners through whom this AI projects can be handled, because this project, by ensuring that all these things, the ecosystem contains all these various aspects, we have been able to do a successful AI implementation. If you miss any of these things, your AI implementation is bound to fail.
Yes, I completely agree with you, Anand, that there are a lot of things that we need to consider when we are deploying AI. And most of the times, organizations rush into deploying AI because of the competitive pressure or board level urgency without first defining the specific use case or pain point, they are trying to solve. And it's also a powerful reminder that successful AI deployment requires cultural readiness, governance, ethical guardrails, and continuous iteration, and not
Correct.
just mere implementation. And I think eventually successful AI driven customer experience strategies require seamless orchestration across various digital and human touch points. And enterprises must ensure that AI tools integrate smoothly within their existing frameworks to allow more dynamic and flexible interactions. Well, thank you so much,
Absolutely.
Anand, for taking out the time and effort to be on our podcast today and helping us understand that AI is making a significant movement, or there's a paradigm shift already happening towards customer experience or employee experience and becoming a more powerful and collaborative force across different touch points. And these AI systems are capable of autonomous learning, data analysis, and problem solving, which enables them to not only assist but also anticipate challenges. And while current AI systems are designed to assist with tasks, we are witnessing the rise of AI that can collaborate, adapt, and learn autonomously. Thank you so much
Absolutely.
for your insights, Anand. It was lovely chatting with you.
Same here, Priya. Thanks for this opportunity. Appreciate it.
Thank you so much. So, this is for our listeners. I hope you enjoyed today's discussion around customer experience, the role of AI at workplace, what exactly are we trying to achieve here with the implementation of AI, and what are certain steps or factors you need to consider when deploying AI. Stay tuned for upcoming podcasts, and you can view and listen all our previous episodes on Spotify and other leading platforms. Thank you so much.